the Cowboys could maybe give the Ravens a little trouble tonight. Dan Orlovsky, Mina Kimes, Marcus Spears is here. Let's get to this Cowboys-Ravens game, guys, in just 3 hours. Dan, what are you watching out for in a typical 2020 Tuesday night football?
Yeah, all eyes on that defense, all weight on that defense in Baltimore. And it's not just playing well. They got to play to set that offense up with short fields. They got to be motivated to score themselves. We know some of the injuries on that offense, so they got to carry this football team, creating turnovers and creating short fields for their offense tonight and moving forward.
I'm watching rookie running back J.K. Dobbins. It's been a committee in Baltimore so far this year, but as Dan said, this team is injured. You need to take over in this game because this Dallas run defense was last seen in Antonio Gibson's rearview mirror. This is a tremendous opportunity for the young back.
Oh, what up, Dez B? This big bro. Hey, listen, I know you're going back to Dallas. I know you want to show off. You've been around this Ravens organization now. I just hope that Greg Roman has a plan for Dez Bryant in this game. Not only to help Lamar Jackson possibly, but to also look for another weapon that we've been screaming that the Baltimore Ravens need. I hope the X is thrown up tonight, y'all.
Hey, South Antonio in Baltimore and just 3 hours away from kickoff. What should we know, Sal, about the time off for the Ravens?
Laura, moments ago, I talked to someone high up in the Ravens organization who said the team is, quote, very anxious to play in this game tonight, unquote, against the Dallas Cowboys, especially on defense. Tonight, they get back Brandon Williams, defensive tackle, who's been out with an ankle injury, and Calais Campbell, defensive end, who's been out with a calf injury. They will start in the same game for the first time since November 8th, and that was the last time the Ravens won a football game. Laura?
All right, more Sal Pal coming later in the show. Now let's get to Adam Schefter. Lamar Jackson off the reserve COVID-19 list, expected to start tonight. But what should we be looking out for, Adam, out of the Ravens quarterback in just a couple hours?
Look, Laura, he's bouncing back from the virus, and it's hard to forecast how each player responds to that virus. And if you speak to people around the league, executives and coaches and other teams, they say their players sometimes have struggled in their returns. They've had to deal with stamina and conditioning issues. Some players have lost weight. Lamar Jackson already was a fairly thin player playing the quarterback position. And I think the Ravens tonight don't know exactly what they're going to be getting from Lamar Jackson. And I think there'll be a question as to whether he can play the full game, whether he'll play 3/4 of the game, whatever it may be. But they'll be watching him tonight to see how he responds in his first game back from the virus. And the fact that this game was moved to this date, Tuesday night, as opposed to being played last Thursday night, gave Lamar the chance to play. But the question is how he plays and how much he plays, and we'll get an idea of that tonight once the game kicks off at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, Adam, the Ravens looking to avoid their first 4-game losing streak since 2016 tonight. More from you coming. Mina, how big a deal is it if Lamar can't play the whole game tonight?
It's a huge deal. I mean, there are already so many players out or banged up on this offense. They're missing Mark Andrews, probably his most important weapon. Willie Snead, who's been a real outlet for him. And as I mentioned earlier with respect to J.K. Dobbins, the weakness of this Dallas defense has been stopping the run. Baltimore's run game is predicated on Lamar Jackson being on the field. You know, yes, J.K. Dobbins is a great young back. I like Gus Edwards, but they're so helped by Lamar also being in that offense. Without him, suddenly you have questions like, what is this offense? What is their identity? How are they going to put it all together? Dan mentioned earlier that the defense, it's really on them to win this game, but they're still going to have to put some points on the board.
Yeah, my mind goes to two areas. Number one, this isn't a must-win game, but it's a must-win game for Baltimore. And I don't know Lamar personally, but I know he's a ridiculously intense competitor. I'd be shocked if Lamar didn't find a way to play in this game and play as well as he possibly could. I'll play the game that if he doesn't or can't, Trace McSorley is the backup now, RG3 on IR, right? So Trace McSorley is still a young player, but he was one of those quarterbacks that, you know, played the quarterback run, the zone read game. He was at Penn State with Saquon Barkley, playing under Joe Moorhead. I called a game of his. So at least the scheme of the offense can remain somewhat the same. You're not going to have the same threat, obviously, with Lamar, but I think Lamar will find a way as a competitor playing this game, and if he can't, Trace McSorley at least can go in and plug and play, and they won't have to change a ton offensively.
He's going to want to go. And listen, I'm thinking back to an NFL Live show we did when Cam Newton came back. And how many times did I text you? He looks lethargic, slow, like just his anticipation. I don't know that. I'm not trying to tell y'all, America, that I know that Lamar Jackson is going to respond that way. But if there will be signs, if he is suffering from kind of the remnants of dealing with COVID. On the flip side of that, it's Greg Roman's responsibility.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a playoff team, if you want to have the opportunity, and look, it's the Cowboys, right? So you're not about to play world beaters. But Greg Roman has to be able to suffice while Lamar Jackson is out. We saw Kansas City without Patrick Mahomes. We watching the Saints right now without
He's got to have
Drew
his
Brees.
best game of the year.
Got to have your best game of the year. So, look, for all the pressure that may be on players, this is about Greg Roman.
Let's bring Adam Schefter back in one more time with a little more on this.
Yeah, I just want to clean it up and make one point. He's playing tonight. That's not the issue, okay? Lamar Jackson is going to be out there. The question is how effective he'll be when he's out there and how long he'll be able to stay out there. In a perfect world, he plays the full game and looks like Lamar Jackson and lights it up. That's what the Ravens are hoping. But I think they don't know exactly what they're going to be getting from him tonight, and that's what makes it a big question mark going into the game.
Just a few more hours until that game. Breaking news here on NFL Live Now, and we'll continue with Adam for that. Jalen Hurts making his first NFL start Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. Carson Wentz will back up Hurts, and Eagles head coach Doug Peterson said he's looking for a spark. Hopes that can come from the rookie quarterback. Adam, we saw Hurts in a small sample size last Sunday. How did Peterson come to making this call to start Jalen Hurts?
Laura, I don't think it was a difficult decision to have to make. As much as they've invested in Carson Wentz in terms of picks and money, the fact of the matter is he's regressed this year. He's looked gangly out there. He's looked uncoordinated out there. He's looked unproductive out there. And when they put in Jalen Hurts on Sunday, he responded a little bit. The team responded a little bit, and they felt like they got a spark. Now, I don't know that Jalen Hurts is capable of taking this team to the NFC East title. We're about to find that out starting Sunday against the Saints. But they believe that the best move for this team right now that gives it the best chance to win on Sunday and perhaps even going forward is turning to Jalen Hurts. And it was not as if it was just a Doug Peterson decision. The owner, Jeffrey Lurie, believed in this decision. The other people in the organization believed in this decision. So it was time in their minds to turn to Jalen Hurts to see what he can do. Carson Wentz now goes to the bench, Laura.
All right, so we also wanted to point this out with the second week of December for Carson Wentz has not been good. You look at that, December 10th, 2017, torn ACL ends his season then. December 9th, 2018, the back injury ends his season then. And then December 8th, 2020, bench for Jalen Hurts. So second week of December in 2021, we'll see what it looks like for Carson Wentz. One of the things that I think was really important there that Adam brought up, Dan, is that Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, signing off on making this change to Jalen Hurts. Not that complicated of a decision for Doug Peterson.
I mean, the play kind of brought it to that. Listen, you guys know I'm going to be passionate about this, right? So, all right, the reason they are in this situation, the Eagles organization, everybody has their hand in it. Everybody, the general manager, the head coach, the front office for putting the roster out there, and that includes the quarterback. I mean, his play opened up the door for this decision and for this decision to be easy. If you play sports long enough, you're more than likely going to get benched, right? I've been benched before. A lot of us who have played for a long time, it happens. Number one, you have to look in the mirror and figure out why did it happen? Like, what did I do to allow this to happen? You have to take accountability of it. You have to take ownership of it. And then two, you better start quickly focusing on what to do next. You know, he's got to earn Carson Wentz has to earn the trust of his teammates back. He does. He's got to earn the trust of the head coach back, whether it's this head coach or somebody that might be next year. He's got to earn the trust of the general manager back. And it's got to be vice versa as well. And so there needs to be ownership by everybody in that organization. And I'll be frank, it has to start with Carson Wentz for this situation.
Yeah, look, I know it's breaking news and we're excited. This is normal football procedure. Dude, you're not helping us win. Like, y'all know me. It's very simple for me. A $100 million quarterback is going to get every possible excuse exhausted to not remove him from the game. Yeah. Carson Wentz just got rid of all those excuses. And look, we can pile on about his play, and we do that. We analyze, we critique, we critical at times when quarterbacks aren't playing up to speed. But to me, this is such a simple move. This didn't take an act of Congress. Turn on the film from the last 4 to 5 weeks and look at the way Carson Wentz has been playing. Jalen Hurts is not in a great position either. But Carson Wentz damn sure wasn't in one, and he wasn't showing any progression. And I think what happened between Doug Peterson, this front office, and Jeffrey Lurie is they were waiting to see if a corner would be turned.
Yeah, if you play himself out of
hoping. And now you got to go with Jalen Hurts.
All right, so Jalen Hurts, Mina, hey, welcome to the NFL, man. You're getting your first NFL start against the Saints. How tough of a matchup is that for Jalen Hurts?
Prayers up.
So I was in favor of this move. I thought Jalen Hurts did spark the offense. I thought his mobility is really key, especially with that decimated offensive line. But he is walking into the Lions' den. And not the Detroit Lions, because that would be easy. He is playing
unnecessary shot.
Toughest defense in the NFL right now. I mean, look at this. This is since week 9. 2 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Oh. And Carson Wentz would get his butt kicked against the Saints, and there's a good chance Jalen Hurts does too. Let's be real, and it's through no fault of his own. But I ask this of the fans and of the Eagles organization. Don't let this be his only start, because it's not a fair and legitimate test of his abilities, and it's not going to allow him to develop as a quarterback. It's going to be his first start, but it shouldn't be his last one.
Sal Paolantonio, as plugged in as anybody with the Eagles situation, joining us a little later with more on this quarterback situation. And we're just getting started on NFL Live on this Tuesday. Glad that you are with us. Still to come, after lighting up the 49ers last night, Josh Allen and this Buffalo team proven their #1 threat to Kansas City. One of our analysts seems to think so. Plus, after finally losing the first game of the season, was yesterday a sign of things to come, or just maybe a tired team for the Steelers? Some of us think they might be in real trouble. NFL Live with you on this Tuesday, and we're all together. It's so much fun. Except Dan's kind of annoying us, but that's the usual, right?
It's actually a really pretty tie.
Back here on NFL Live, let's get to Monday Night Football again. The Buffalo Bills taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Dan Orlovsky, we pick it up with the, hey, listen, the Bills are trying to get a win on Monday Night Football for once. More on that later. Second quarter, Bills 7-0 in the red zone. What you got there?
It's just an awesome spot route. It's a good job by Beasley just sitting in that front line touchdown. And then I love this little flash fake, get it to Dawson, knocks out on the perimeter. Great blocking by those receivers. Cuddy Bills.
Bills up 17-7 at the half. Third quarter, Allen still rolling here. Play action fake there.
Yeah, just an awesome little use of motion. You snap it while he's going full speed. Watch these defenders get confused. Play fake, and then you got a rub route by that bottom receiver. McKenzie just gets outside on that rail route. Down the numbers, touchdown Buffalo again.
Bills win 34-24. Finally get a win on Monday Night Football. It's the first time since like 1999. And got a little tweet action here. Hey, Rainn Wilson, known for his role as Dwight Schrute in The Office, took to Twitter last night. Seahawks fan, by the way. Josh Allen, he says, is my second favorite quarterback. Allen had a perfect response. Assistant favorite quarterback or assistant to your favorite quarterback? Here's what's so funny. Dan Orlovsky admits that he's never seen The Office yesterday, but he liked the tweet. So, Dan, like, do you even know what they're talking about?
I'm a fan of the player. I'm a fan of the player's interactions with his fans.
Got it. Okay, that's funny. So we're going to move on. But Dan's never seen The Office. Just putting that out there for all the people on Twitter. Send him all the hate that you want to send him.
Hey, Carson about to get divorced.
Yeah, maybe.
He about to divorce Carson.
Stupid.
That's what he about to do.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the game from last night. Mina, why is the Bills' pass game so hard to defend?
I know we're going to get to the game. I will. But Rainn Wilson's character, he's like the weird, awkward nerd, goofy. You might be able to relate. Okay, so look.
I really tried to move us along.
They won because Josh Allen played out of his mind. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. Josh Allen was absolutely incredible. He was amazing. He was cerebral. He was poised. He was accurate. He was patient, which is a thing he hasn't been in the past. But they also won because of the team that's been assembled around Josh Allen. I have praised GM Brandon Beane to no end this offseason, and you really saw it on display against San Francisco because this combination of receivers is so hard to defend.
Yeah.
If you play man, the route-running king, Stephon Diggs, is going to kill you and put you in a blender. If you play zone, the short king, Cole Beasley, is going to find the soft spots in that defense as he did in the first half over and over and over. There are no right answers. Now, they're not unstoppable. I think a team that would maybe has a better chance of setting the edge against Allen than San Francisco did would put up a better fight. But boy, that offense is terrifying.
Yeah, you're no Pam Beasley yourself, but
you don't even know who that is.
Somebody said that into his ear,
No
by
doubt.
the way.
Thank
He
you,
had no
Eisman.
idea.
Thank you,
Yeah, that's
Eisman.
our producer, Mark Eisman. Go ahead, Dan.
I don't want to be Pam.
I'll be a professional here. What I love about where the offense is right now, and it kind of was really on display last night, was they give him a lot of power at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like those pieces that they move around, they'll motion guys, the back out of the backfield to gather information, the tight end to gather information. That's empowering for a quarterback. Like when the quarterback can stand at the line of scrimmage like Josh Allen does, and he goes, oh, I know what defense you're in. Then you feel like incredibly confident. He feels like Superman. Like there's not a throw that he can't make because he knows exactly what coverage you're in, where the ball needs to go to. And Brian Daboll does a great job of giving him that ability. It's very similar to what Patrick Mahomes gets in Kansas City. You know, you expedite the thought process, and that's what they do a lot. Now, how do you stop it? Because you bring up a great point, Mina, about like the man versus the zone. And everyone's initial thought is like, you got to have a guy that can cover Stephon Diggs. I don't think that's the answer. It's almost like the New England thing from back in the day. Like you got to put your number 2 corner on Stephon Diggs. You got to play man. You got to play man. You got to put your 2 corner on Diggs with a little bit of help. And you got to believe that your 1 corner, your number 1, can absolutely lock down Cole Beasley. If you can do that, you can slow this offense down. There's just not a lot of teams who can.
All right, so we all agree that the best team in the AFC is the Chiefs, obviously. So are the Bills the second best team in the division?
Ooh. Based on last night, yes.
Say it with your chest.
This offense can be unstoppable. and there's a caveat, obviously. I mean, look, last night was not indicative to what they'll face going forward. When you I love the fact that y'all talking about man and zone. But you could play the greatest man and the greatest zone in football history. If it ain't no pressure on the quarterback, he gonna gut you in this league.
Yeah.
Especially with the type of talent that Josh Allen has. So that's the ultimate equalizer when you playing against the Buffalo Bills and you try to, ask yourself, who are those teams that can generate that type of pass rush? And then you got to go to, well, he's athletic too.
Yeah.
He can improvise and make plays off script. So, yeah, I would feel comfortable saying the Bills are the second best team. It's tough for me to say that.
I like it.
But as you said it gave Mina did a little shoulder shimmy, so I think she agrees. New on NFL Live right now, Arizona Cardinals have activated wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald from the reserve COVID-19 list. On Sunday, they're taking on the Giants. Marcus is saying that's huge. Just another weapon and a veteran weapon in that offense for Kyler Murray, who's struggled of late.